Well, good morning, everyone. Fortunately, we are doing this in the morning because it has been getting hot. I'm Mayor Ralph Becker, and I welcome all of you here to one of our great improvements relating to walkability and safety in our city. Times have changed a lot. I think for those of us who are older, when I was growing up, that the way I got around and the way I was expected to get around as a kid was to walk, or I was given a bike, and my parents just sort of let me roam. And today, conditions have changed a lot. People are uncomfortable with letting their kids walk to school too often, whether it's real or perceived. It still is the reality. And we find people feeling uncomfortable when they're trying to walk around our community because of safety concerns. And we're here today to talk about how in the city, in Salt Lake City, we are working so hard, and I think with the improvements that you see we're making this year, we are really elevating our commitment to walkability in Salt Lake City. And of course, walking provides all kinds of benefits, not just to our personal health, but also to reducing driving and the impact that has on our carbon footprint and on air pollution. But it also provides much better access for businesses and many of the local amenities. So it's an essential part of our quality of life. And it's also such a basic form of transportation. Earlier this year, I signed on to the U.S. Department of Transportation's Mayor's Challenge for Safer People and Safer Streets, along with 200 mayors across the country. That challenge was thrown down by former Mayor and now Transportation Secretary Anthony Foxx. And he asked us as cities to adopt key measures to improve safety for both walking and bicycling. And we agree, of course, that our focus should be on taking a complete street approach, which is a policy we adopted first by executive order and then through ordinance with the city, to provide for everyone that uses our roads. We have been pursuing that. We've been tracking information about our users. We've been trying to work hard to remove barriers. And we have been investing increasingly in the safety of our residents on our streets. So we've been focused on, I think, even more measures than the Secretary suggested in his challenge to us earlier this year. But today I'm here to announce that this year we are making a significant increase in our investment in pedestrian safety citywide. We will be spending approximately $3.5 million on safety of our most vulnerable roadway users. And those investments include new signals, new blinker signs, visible and durable materials, and other methods of alerting drivers to the presence of pedestrians, and providing better protections for people who are crossing our wide streets. This represents a very large increase over spending we've worked on relating to pedestrian improvements. In 2013, we spent approximately $500,000. So we are multiplying by 7 in just 1 year the amount of money we're putting into pedestrian safety. So today we're joined here at the Hogle Zoo, where a new hawk signal is going in, and that's been recently completed. And I might mention we've been working closely with the zoo for a number of years on how to improve pedestrian safety for people who are parking on this side of Sunnyside, and that's a relatively recent development as well, to have some shared parking, but then can get across Sunnyside in a safe way. And a lot of much more expensive alternatives were looked at, like building some sort of an above grade, a bridge crossing the road. But this kind of signal alerts drivers and provides safety in a cost-effective way. It's an example of what you can expect from our investments all across the city that provides for needed visibility to hundreds of families that visit this regional amenity every day. And as I mentioned before, this is not just here. We are doing this all across the city, in every part of the city, in making the improvements. and we look forward to announcing the completion of our work at the end of this year. So we've been working towards this, I think, for a number of years. And as I introduce Robin Hutchison, our Transportation Director, I want to commend her and really our transportation folks who have, working with us in the administration and the City Council, have really elevated this year safety as the #1 priority in the way we seek to make improvements around the city. So Robin, thank you for joining us, and she will be followed, by Therica. I'm sorry, Therica, I need to get your last name here. By Erica Hansen from the Hogle Zoo, who's going to talk about this improvement relative to Hogle Zoo. So thank you for joining us. And when we're done, we'll probably just take some one-on-one interviews if people want to follow up. Robin?
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks for the introduction of the topic and of me. I'm Robin Hutchison, the Transportation Director for Salt Lake City. I'm joined here by numerous of my staff members who have also made a very big commitment in their professional practice to increase safety for everybody in Salt Lake City, everybody who travels. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the kinds of improvements that we're making, and I'm going to give you a bit of information, the backup of why we're doing this. Let's start with the backup. A recent report released by the National Complete Streets Coalition told us that about 15% of all collisions and all accidents on the roadways involve pedestrians. And when they involve pedestrians, the injuries are more frequent and more severe. In Utah, we were ranked by this national study, and we are at about the middle of the pack. And Salt Lake City within Utah is also about the middle of the pack, rated for safety of pedestrians on our streets. And I know, and we know, we can do better than that. We have to make improvements so that everybody who uses our system is safe. So, with that study in hand, we went to work to do two things. First and foremost, we very carefully selected our corridors, our streets, and our neighborhoods that need help for their pedestrians to connect to jobs, amenities, grocery, whatever it is they need, and to cross our wide streets. So this year, as the mayor mentioned, we have just about $3.5 million going directly towards making pedestrian safety improvements, and this is citywide. And I'm just going to give you a couple of locations, but I encourage you to visit our website. Two signals on 900 West, a few signals in the middle of our downtown, on 800 South, on South Temple, on 600 East, on 2100 South. These are all locations, all corridors where we saw the need to improve safety. And here, of course, behind us at the Hogle Zoo, where on weekends we see a tremendous amount of pedestrian traffic. Now, we really want to track how we're doing. If we're going to make these kinds of investments, we want to know how effective they are. So my team went to work looking at where we stand with regards to pedestrian incidents, accidents, any sort of collision. And it turns out that we had approximately 120 such accidents on our roadways last year. These are all preventable accidents. These are all preventable through policy, design, and investment. So today's announcement is really our recommitment to making sure that we spend the necessary time in our professional work, that we, thanks to Mayor Becker, have a tremendous amount of resources available to improve our work out on the street so that we can drive that number down. Our goal is to have no more accidents, injuries, or fatalities that can be prevented through policy, design, and our infrastructure investments. Our goal is to make our streets safer for everybody. I am really happy to be working with Erica here. The zoo was a great partner. They came to us long ago, told us of their concerns. We completed a technical study here and realized that because of the wide street, 2 lanes of traffic in each direction, which actually increases the risk of our accidents with pedestrians involved, we went to work with the zoo, partnering to install this hawk signal, a high-intensity activated crosswalk that you see behind me. So I'm really pleased to introduce Erica, who's going to tell you how that's working out.
Thank you, Robin, and thank you, Mayor. This is a very exciting day for Utah's Hogle Zoo. We are one of the state's largest family attractions. Last year, we welcomed over 1.2 million visitors. On an average summer Saturday, we can get 10,000 people visiting the zoo. With all of our improvements, attendance goes up, and so parking has always been a challenge for us. So last year we were very happy to open more free parking here on the north side of Sunnyside. But as zoo staff, we're all have our own families of our own, and driving up and down Sunnyside can be a little sketchy when you're watching families try to cross this massive street to get into the zoo. We could not be happier about the partnership with the city and to install this crosswalk. We've had a lot of concerns, both as staff and the community as well, reaching out, wondering about the safety. This preventative step will hopefully keep families safe for a long time to come as they continue to visit the zoo. So this is a very exciting day for Utah's Hogle Zoo. We've had great feedback already at how much safer. You know, you got a lot of these wonderful stay-at-home parents bringing their kids up to the zoo by themselves. And as a parent, when you're outnumbered and you've got more kids than you have hands and eyes and ears, this is just a wonderful step in safety, and we just couldn't be happier and more grateful to the mayor and the city for their efforts to keep our citizens safe. Thank you so much for coming out today, and we can take questions one-on-one at this point.
Okay, thank you all.